Well, hello everyone. Welcome back to Spirit of Justice. Previously, Maya Fey channeled the spirit of a dead man, Abbot to rust in me. And he pretty freely admitted to being a rebel, a defiant dragon rebel seeking to take down the Khura'in government. And, well, then he started being dodgy about things, telling lies, and we picked them apart. And now, we're positing that his wife, Belib, may be the one who killed both him and their adopted son, Khura'in Zealot. And to that end, we have one more testimony to go through. This might be the last for Turust, but yeah, it probably is, and then we'd probably get Belib on the stand. And speaking of one more thing, we only have one little pip of health left, so that's scary. Also, I'll have you know that this is the first video I'm recording as a 30-year-old. Happy birthday to me. Anywho, let's continue. Acolyte Faye channeled Lady Kira's spirit.
Hold it!
My client channeled Lady Kira. Isn't that a little far-fetched? Far-fetched, you say? Why, the very fact that I am here proves she has the power to channel spirits. But you have no proof she actually channeled Lady Kira. Oh, but I do. She is a spirit medium who knows Lady Kira's true name, so she could have done it.
Hold it!
While it's true she may be capable of channeling Lady Kira, I doubt there's any proof she actually did it. We are talking about the infamous rebel hunter here. That modern-day Lady Kira has captured many a rebel all by herself, and among them have been more than a few great warriors. Who but the real Lady Kira could have accomplished such a feat? It would be difficult for a mere mortal. That leaves the real Lady Kira of legend as the only likely answer. Indeed. Is this not proof enough that the real Lady Kira of legend had been channeled? The real Lady Kira of legend? That's an oxymoron if I ever heard one. Then again, the people of Khura'in believe legends to be true. So it was the real Lady Kira who returned to root out the rebels among us.
Hold it!
Lady Kira is an actual person. Do you really believe there ever was a woman that powerful? One capable of battling rebels much bigger and stronger than herself? There is no way to prove that. But to doubt the existence of Lady Kira is to doubt Khura'inism itself. It is not for us to question. We must simply believe. That is an awful outlook. Yeah, how dare you doubt our legends? You'll regret saying that, you Polkunin. Lady Kira's gonna strike you down. Oh, I won't get anywhere until I can refute their claims with some evidence. She attacked and killed me with a strength far beyond any mortal woman.
Hold it!
A strength far beyond any mortal woman? And just how strong would that be? You need but look at the wound she inflicted upon my body, though I had hoped to never have to think about that again. Your wound? It was pretty deep, and there was a tremendous amount of blood. And while Acolyte Zealot was rather small in stature, he was strong. Nevertheless, he was no match for the sheer strength of Lady Kira. Maya's spirit channeling is proof that she's Lady Kira. This is not good. I'll have to prove she didn't channel the original Lady Kira. That was my thought. Huh? Let's finish setting up. What do you mean, computer? I've had this computer for years. Leave me alone. God damn it, Microsoft. Anyway, Acolyte Faye channeled Lady Kira's spirit. Right, so she is a spirit medium who knows Lady Kira's true name. That I might be willing to believe, but she could have done it? No, I don't think so. She needed to know the face. That is a key element here. Yeah, Maya has never seen a depiction of Kira with the real face. It's always this golden mask. So, unfortunately, we know already that Maya did have a chance to read this because she bade us to recover this Tome of Secrets from her bag in the High Priest's house. So, honestly, presenting this here feels really, really iffy because half of Tura's statement on this line is correct. She knows Lady Kira's true name. And that is the subject of the sentence. Maybe if I take one little look, something obvious will jump out at me. Well, I really don't have too much else to go with, don't I? I think this is it. Objection! Oh, thank goodness. Whew. The Tome of Secrets is only given to the priestess who performs the purification rite. Is this your proof that my client could have channeled Lady Kira? Yes, indeed. For it contains the true name of Lady Kira, a secret only revealed within. Abbot Inmi, I'm afraid you're mistaken. This couldn't have been used to channel Lady Kira. What nonsense! Mr. Wright, would you care to explain? This is why my client couldn't have channeled Lady Kira. Yep, the mask. Take that! Lady Kira's face is hidden behind a mask in the Tome of Secrets. You need both a name and a face to channel a spirit. It can't be! Without a face, it would have been impossible for my client to channel Lady Kira. Oh my! Therefore, the claim that she became Lady Kira by means of spirit channeling is patently false. Gah. And with Lady Kira out of the equation, my client had no motive to commit murder. But then, who is the rebel-hunting Lady Kira we've been reading about in the paper? Yes, who is this other suspect, if indeed there is one at all? Let us hear the defense's brilliant deduction. Think. The true identity of Lady Kira is the key to solving both murders. I thought Mrs. Inmi was suspicious, but her pregnancy takes her out of the running. And Mr. Erebol is a rebel, so that doesn't make sense. That leaves us with... Mr. Wright, you have that look again. The one where you know you have to say something, but you can't figure out what it is. This is my chance to really turn up the heat. I'll just have to stir the pot till something floats to the top. Your Majesty, I know who's been posing as the rebel hunting Lady Khura. You do? Are you sure about that? No. Yes, completely. I sense that I may regret this, but please go on and explain. Thank you, Your Majesty. This is who's been posing as the rebel hunting Lady Khura. Okay, so by process of elimination of the people involved, it can't be Maya, because clearly she's innocent. She is our good and dear friend. Trust in me was a rebel. It would make sense for him to do that. Believe was pregnant. And for that matter, yeah, it just doesn't make sense. It just does not make sense. So, out of everyone who's involved in this case, I think it only makes sense to be either. Yeah, I think it's just Pare Zealot.
Take that!
The true identity of the rebel hunting Lady Khura we seek is. Oh right, yeah, he appeared at the border 2 years ago, and the rebel hunting began 2 years ago. Of course, I'm glad I just remembered that after I made the correct choice. Pare Zealot. What's this? The High Priest's murdered disciple was Lady Khura, you say? You know, doing these Ace Attorney cases over a period of like 2 weeks has... It just really... Man, I need to remember so much all the time. It's hard. Peace. Peace, I say. The defense will continue. Yes, Your Majesty. I whittled down the list of suspects until there was only one left.
Objection!
But a process of elimination is not the same as solid evidence. I assume you have evidence to back up your claim. Yes, of course. I will have some in a moment, that is. At least I hope so. Maya wasn't Lady Khura, and neither was Mrs. Inmi or any of the other possibilities. That leaves Zealot, and I have the evidence to prove it. The evidence that proves Acolyte Zealot was posing as Lady Khura is this. Huh? Uh-oh. Okay, is there anything that says when Zealot first showed up? Would be in the news. Appeared 2 years ago. 2 years ago. I could show this to the court. Oh, hello. Lady Khura's warning. A warning from Lady Khura to Abbot Inmi. Only someone capable of entering the priest's home could have delivered it. Also, I don't think this has been mentioned before in this trial. At least, not in Phase 2 of the trial. Oh, that's a strong contender. You know what? Yeah, I'm going for it. I think that's it.
Take that!
This is what proves that Acolyte Zealot was Lady Khura. Lady Khura's warning letter. How absurd. What could that possibly prove? Prosecutor Sadmati, you stated that this warning letter proved that my client was Lady Kira, and the reason you gave was that the High Priest's house was locked tight. But there was another member of the family who lived there. Ah. Therefore, Acolyte Zealot could have delivered the warning any time he wanted. What is he talking about? That's just not possible. Please stop wiggling your fingers. Are you saying Lady Kira was not the culprit, but rather the victim? That's exactly what I'm saying. But that would overturn the entire premise of this case. This trial has proceeded on the assumption Lady Kira was behind the serial killings. But if Lady Kira is one of the victims, who was the killer and what was their motive? The only suspect left is Mrs. Inmi, and there's only one possible motive. What if Mrs. Inmi is a rebel? What? Fiend, you're still bent on casting suspicion upon my lovely wife. Blasphemer, you have no evidence of this. Repent for the mistrust in your soul.
Objection!
Well, you have no evidence either. After all, the dagger with my client's prints on it wasn't what killed Acolyte Zealot. And the plumed Punisher theme that he heard could have been an alarm clock. That means all of the evidence linking her to the crime have been called into question. Was Lady Inmi a rebel? And did she pose as Lady Kira to kill Acolyte Zealot? Or was Acolyte Zealot a rebel, and was the accused Lady Kira who killed him? I would say either scenario is just as likely. What are we to do now? The alarm clock, you say? Do you mean the one in the rebel hideout? Yes, but what of it? So that's it. What's gone into him? But in me, just what is so comical? Forgive my outburst. That has simply tickled my funny bone. I don't find it humorous. What did? The theme song came from the plumed Punisher clock, you say? That alarm could not possibly have gone off. Oh, he's about to say he, removed the wiring because it needs to stay hidden in there, right? What makes you say that? The clock was working just fine the last time I checked. Try using your head for a change. Would not the existence of a secret hideout be given away if an alarm kept going off? Wait, you don't mean... Indeed, we leave the alarm switched off at all times. No! In that case, I am sad to say that the defense's claim does not hold water. Would you care to respond, Mr. Wright? Oh, this can't be happening. Not now. This should put an end to the lawyer's futile struggles. The theme song the victim heard was from the accused's strap, just as we suspected. Therefore, the accused is the rebel-hunting Lady Kira and the victim's killer. Wait, so when did the trade go off? Someone remind me. When did the trade go off? Hold on. Yeah, Maya got this in exchange for a steel samurai watch, but when? Look, so this is a rare, one-of-a-kind bit of memorabilia. It did sound weird that some mega fan who got this rare item would trade it for some other foreign show's wristwatch. It makes no sense. What if Belieb orchestrated that change just to make sure that the evidence was handed off to Maya, the person she intended to frame? When was the trade made? I need an opening, something I can raise an objection to. That Plumed Punisher theme song Acolyte Zealot heard in his final moments. I too heard it by way of the listening device. But did you really? If you had heard it, why didn't you testify to the fact before? Is it not obvious? I did not know such a tune could become a key matter of dispute. Yes, the matter of the theme song came up before Abbot in Me was channeled. Oh, right. Well then, what if he's lying about the clock's alarm being switched off? Miserable wretch. That would be a pointless lie, one easily disproven. If you check the clock, you will see that the alarm is in fact switched off. Come to think of it. What a fine item. And this switch, if I'm right... we set the switch back into the off position before we left. I remember hearing it clearly. Those distinctive taiko drums in the intro are etched in my mind. They went... Daka dun dun dun, dun 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 dun. Distinctive taiko drums in the intro? Wait. Oh! Now the taiko drums are the Steel Samurai theme. Oh, hello. Well, hello. Okay. Oh. Well, this makes things way simpler. All right. This trial has gone on far too long. Shall we move ahead to the verdict phase now? By all means, and let us also return Abbot Inmi's spirit to the Twilight Realm. Before I go, let me say a word to my darling wife.
Objection!
Now hold on just 1 minute. Your Majesty. Yes? The High Priest's statement is inconsistent with a certain piece of evidence. It is. Still you writhe in defiance of your fate. The very sight reminds me of a tortured soul writhing in flames. You won't be saying that once I show you the evidence. Now all I have to do is pick the right one. This piece of evidence is inconsistent with that statement about the taiko drum intro. Yep. Begins with some traditional Khura'inese instruments.
Take that!
This is what's inconsistent with this statement. My client's Plumed Punisher strap. What does that have to do with anything? It plays the Plumed Punisher theme song. And here it is, the theme to the Plumed Punisher, Warrior of Neo Twilight Realm. Do you see what I mean? The music the victim heard in his final moments might not have been the Plumed Punisher theme song. I'm afraid I am not following you. What was it if not the Plumed Punisher theme? In his final moments, Acolyte Zealot heard the Steel Samurai theme. There are no taiko drums in the intro of the Plumed Punisher theme. So what Acolyte Zealot actually heard in his final moments was the theme of the Steel Samurai, Warrior of Neo-Old Tokyo. Peace? Peace! Peace, I say. Mr. Wright, what is this Steel Samurai of which you speak? The Steel Samurai, Warrior of Neo-Old Tokyo is an action hero show from America, yeah. That threw me off so much. Traditional American taiko drums. The Plumed Punisher theme is a total rip. I mean, it's very similar to it. If you didn't know about the Steel Samurai, you could easily mistake the two. But the fact that Acolyte Zealot heard music from an American action hero show is irrefutable evidence that the accused was in the secret hideout. Actually, no. You have it backwards. Backwards. That's right. Miss Faye met an avid Plumed Punisher fan here in Khura'in, and as a token of their friendship, she traded a certain Steel Samurai item she had for the Plumed Punisher strap. And this avid Plumed Punisher fan was the one who killed Acolyte Zealot. Yes. And that avid fan is none other than the High Priest's wife, Believe in Me.
Objection!
Do you have evidence to back up this claim, Mr. Wright? Or as forgiving as the Holy Mother is, I doubt she would tolerate yet another dose of your baseless slander. I suggest you prepare yourself to face Her Holiness's wrath. Oh, I'm prepared. To turn this entire case upside down, that is. This is my last chance. Better take a deep breath and review the evidence. Very well then, please present your evidence if you would, defense. The evidence that proves Mrs. Inme was the one who killed Acolyte Zealot is this. I wonder if we'll point out the Warbad Eye key in the background at some point.
Take that!
It's right here in this family photo. Proof that Mrs. Inme and Miss Faye traded items featuring their favorite characters.
Objection!
A family photo. And what exactly should we be looking at here? The proof that they exchanged items featuring their favorite characters is right here. Boop.
Take that!
Look at Mrs. Inme's left wrist. You can see the Steel Samurai's trademark top knot right there. Which clearly makes this a Steel Samurai watch. Herg! Why, I never knew your wife had such hobbies, Abbott and me. This family photo was taken right before Acolyte Zealot was murdered. But by that point, my client had the Punisher strap and Mrs. Inme had the Samurai watch. So what the victim heard in his final moments was none other than the sound of the watch Mrs. Inme was wearing. I wish to amend my testimony. What I thought were taiko drums was something else. My wife never had such a watch. It's the truth, I tell you. You must believe me, your majesty. Be not deceived by the defense's lawyerly chicanery. When did this come out? Why do this had to have come out before Better Call Saul, right? If you say the word chicanery in a game about lawyers, like, come on, dude. What's it mean? Now what? He's been pretty quiet up to this point. What does he have up his sleeve? Also, go watch Better Call Saul, it's great. There is a big gaping hole in his flimsy claim. A big gaping hole? I don't think so. Oh no, I'm afraid it is there, all right. Just like the big gaping holes in your putrid brain. I hate this man so much. My brain is neither putrid nor full of holes. I'm not a zombie, after all. Says the dead lawyer walking. He who is narrow of vision focuses on what is before him, never seeing the big picture. Or as they say in your country, you cannot see the forest for the trees. For if it is as you said, and Lady Inme, the rebel, slew Acolyte Zealot, the rebel-hunting Lady Khura'in, then the rebel hunter would have been dead before the high priest was slain. Oh, that means the high priest could not have been slain by the rebel-hunting Lady Khura'in. How could I have missed that? So tell me, who are you going to say killed the high priest now? No! Do you finally understand the sheer size of the holes that riddle your putrid brain? I'm in hot water now. I don't have any other suspects in the high priest's murder. You mindless zombie, you should have begun your journey into the Twilight Realm long ago. Now let it go and move on. No, I will never give up. I just need to think things through and figure out who really killed the high priest. Yo, I was wondering if we'd get to this. So we're not gonna cross-examine Belieb, huh? Well, sure, okay. If Acolyte Zealot had been Lady Khura'in, he couldn't have killed the high priest. So the question is, who did? Maybe I can get to the bottom of this by reviewing the events of this case in order. What evidence could tell me something about the crime scene before the murder? What was Maya's testimony? Maya's testimony. Oh, this is Maya's statement. Yes. Those red-stained water, what does that mean? Oh, right. Maya said that the spring had been stained red before the rite even began. The spring was already red before the high priest's murder because of Zealot's blood. He was dead in the shrine at the time. That's right. Zealot had been killed in the rebel hideout the day before the rite, and his blood had flowed into the spring. Wait a second. The high priest knew that Zealot had been killed in the hideout. So why didn't he report it to the authorities? If Maya had been the killer, he could have easily had her arrested on the spot. Why didn't the high priest inform the authorities right then? To keep the hideout hidden? Or... well, Maya received no such threat, at least she'd never said as much, so... If he reported Zealot's murder, the authorities would find out about the hideout. That's what he was worried about. But by going through with the rite, the high priest risked having Maya see the spring running red with blood. Why did he have to go through with the rite? Did he want to set up the scene during it? Oh. Yeah, he could get Maya to take the fall. Okay. He wanted to set up the crime scene to conceal the hideout. But how was he planning on concealing the source of blood in the spring? Maya's blood. What's the full extent of the rite? Oh. We don't have the evidence for the full details of the rite, do we? Yeah, I'm pretty sure it does not involve the High Priest spilling his own blood, I think. How could he have emptied the spring? It pools right there. Where would... Well, it's not like there's a penalty for guessing wrong. I want to say he emptied the spring. No. Wait a second, it was still full of bloody water, which means it hadn't been emptied. Must have been some other way he tried to conceal the source of the blood. He would use his own blood. He concealed the source of the blood with his own. That was how he kept the rebel hideout a secret. It's all starting to fall into place. I know who killed the High Priest. It was... Oh my god! He died for the cause! I never saw that coming! Tarust's death was a suicide. I can't believe it. The High Priest took his own life to keep the rebel hideout a secret. The High Priest wasn't murdered by anyone. He took his own life to keep the rebel hideout a secret. What's this? The High Priest committed suicide. I have never heard anything more absurd.
Objection!
The lawyer has placed a stain on the good priest's death with his putrid brain. Its putrid gaping holes are as large as the hole in his logic. What hole? You still fail to understand. You truly cannot see the forest for the trees. You claim the High Priest took his own life. But have you considered who brought the dagger to the Plaza of Devotion? After the High Priest was killed, the dagger was thrust into Acolyte Zealot's dead body. Only the accused, Maya Fey, could have done that. It is as Prosecutor Satmari says. Your claim is rather porous in its logic. And your evidence is too weak. No. I quite think that Belieb may have doctored the scene. You cannot prove that the High Priest took his own life to conceal the rebel hideout. Urk. They're right. The dagger was impaled in Zealot's body, but his body had been placed at the plaza the previous day. Well, Mr. Wright, would you care to respond? Zealot's body was already in the plaza the day before the rite. But what if the dagger was also already in him at that time? The dagger was never at the inner sanctum. He impaled himself on the warbad bird, didn't he? After all, the divination seance shows him sprinting full tilt at it. Of course, that's it. What is it? There was no need to move the dagger. It had already been stabbed into Acolyte Zealot's body the day before the rite. What? So that means... What does that mean? It means the dagger wasn't the weapon that took the High Priest's life.
Objection!
But no weapon was ever found at the inner sanctum. If you will not listen to reason, then I insist you prove your assertion. Show us what you believe the real murder weapon to be. The real weapon? I've got nothing, but I know there had to have been a weapon there. Maybe if I think back on the trial thus far, I'll spot the clue I need. Well, would the defense care to tell us what the real weapon is? This is what really killed the High Priest.
Take that!
What really killed him has been at the inner sanctum all this time, and its lethality has already been demonstrated by the late Acolyte Zealot. That's right, it was the Warbad statue. Air combo. You believe that that statue claimed both victims' lives? Would you care to chime in, Abbot in me? No. He lies. Pay him no. Why, it's... Oh. Lady in me. Darling, don't you think this has gone on long enough? Believe, no. Your Majesty, my wife knows nothing. Please, Abbot in me, let your wife speak. Now, Lady in me, please continue if you would. It's that time again. And what time would that be? 2:30 in the afternoon, the time my husband conducts his daily prayers, and the time Pere was slain. That's when she set the alarm. That sound, it's the Steel Samurai alarm. I too like to pray at the same time as my dear husband. So I set an alarm to remind me each day, but I had no idea it would come to this. No, stop! She knows not what she speaks. Your Majesty, I am the one who slew Acolyte Zealot. Oh, that poor man. Abbot in me. Bailiff, summon a physician at once. The physician is now attending to the high priest, so there is no need to fear. Now let us continue. What about the half of him called Maya that's still among the living? Mrs. Inme, will you tell us everything you know?
The truth is, I am a rebel, just like my husband. This tragedy unfolded before the rite, during the Feast of Blessings. I had gone to the rebel hideout to prepare it for Datz's escape.
And that's when Acolyte Zealot suddenly appeared.
Yes. Khura'in was shocked when he saw me there.
Acolyte Zealot did not know you were a rebel.
I do not believe he did. I believe he was there simply to investigate the hideout.
And then he suddenly came face to face with Mrs. Inme. So the true identity of the rebel-hunting Lady Kira was Khura'in Zealot?
Yes. He was a member of the secret police, serving directly under the Minister of Justice.
The secret police?
And this is what he said to me. I can kill rebels with impunity. The Justice Minister has my back. He was using his position within the secret police to deal us rebels a heavy blow. But murder sanctioned by the Crown is still murder.
Even without the DC Act, Dirk and his insurgent scum buddies' days are numbered. What's that supposed to mean? Let's just say I got a little trick up my sleeve, so I'd watch it if I were you. 'Cause you got a defiant attitude, like one of them dragon dupes. The trick up Minister Inga's sleeve was Lady Kira.
No! This can't be! My father would never...
This must be a bolt out of the blue for Rafa. This explains why Acolyte Zealot abandoned his real name.
Yes. He even went as far as covering up the tattoo that all Khura'inist clergy members receive.
Lady Kira was a member of the secret police. That explains why no order was given to investigate her attacks. I guess I'm not alone in hearing this for the first time.
But, this cannot be!
Is this true? The Justice Minister is sanctioning state-sponsored murder? Peace. Now, Lady Inme, please continue.
Khura'in suddenly lunged at me. That's when I pushed the stone slab toward him with all my might. But I never meant for what happened next to occur.
Allow me to take it from here. But Inme, are you sure you're all right now? I am sorry you had to see that. But you need not worry about me. I am already dead. Please, we need to know what was so important that you would take your own life. After I learned that my wife had accidentally slain Zealot, I chilled his body with snow to make it seem as if he died more recently than he did. Then I later moved it to the Plaza of Devotion and inserted the dagger into his wound. The plaza was empty at that time, for it was before prayer time had started. Finally, I placed his body in the prayer pose, knowing that no one would notice anything was wrong until the rite had concluded. It is perfectly plausible that no one would disturb him if he seemed to be praying. We do treasure our prayer time, after all. So you admit you tried to pin this crime on Maya Fey? Yes, this was all my doing. I never told my wife of my plan, for surely she would have tried to stop me. How did you get Miss Fey's fingerprints on the dagger? I had her hold it while we were rehearsing the rite the day before. And right before the rite, I drugged her with a sleeping agent. Then I put Lady Kira's robes over the Warbad statue.
That means Maya was probably already groggy by the time the rite started.
Finally, I ended my own life to ensure that the crime would appear to have been by Acolyte Faye's own hand.
But when your body was discovered, Lady Kira's robes were on the ground. How did they end up there if they were on the statue?
After I impaled myself on one of the statue's dagger-like feathers, I used the last ounce of my strength to hurl my body backwards. As I did, I grabbed onto the robes, taking them with me as I fell back onto the ground.
How terrible! What possessed you to do such a thing? You needn't have committed suicide simply to frame the accused.
Prosecutor Sadmati, as one well-versed in our kingdom's legal system, I would expect you of all people to understand.
Understand what? This kingdom's legal system, Mrs. Inmi's crime, your suicide. It can't be. That would be sadder than sad. Why, I believe the defense knows of what the High Priest speaks. Yes, I finally understand. This explains why the High Priest took his own life. Where do I say that she's with child? Oh. Those who support criminals will be deemed just as guilty.
Take that!
The Defense Culpability Act. Circumstantial evidence supports Mrs. Inmi's killing of Acolyte Zealot in self-defense. However, it would be next to impossible to prove it without a lawyer. That's why the High Priest wanted to pin the crime on Maya Fey. I fail to see what that has to do with his suicide. In Khura'in, the divination seance is the most important piece of trial evidence. The High Priest wanted to frame Miss Fey as a serial killer. It was a clever plan in which he made sure he'd see Lady Kira in his final moments.
The lawyer speaks true. That is why I placed Lady Kira's robes upon the Warbad statue. I made it seem that Acolyte Faye was the rebel-hunting Lady Kira.
But are you saying you used my divination seance to produce false evidence?
Forgive me your benevolence, but it was the only way to help my lovely wife.
If you had approached me first, I could have proved that the murder was in self-defense.
Perhaps, but I had little faith in lawyers, despite being a rebel.
How utterly foolish to cast away one's life for such a reason. There must have been other ways to cover up the crime.
Yet had I done so, my wife would rush to my defense, and when the case went to trial, she would suffer the same fate as I under the Defense Culpability Act. I could not have lived with myself had she been convicted because of that fiendish man.
This cannot be. All I have done under the laws of our kingdom, it has all been. Poor Rafa. She's really taking this hard. But I can't say I'm surprised.
Mr. Phoenix Wright, it is time to show the might of your legal prowess. You mustn't allow another innocent soul to be charged under that despicable law.
Of course, I'll do whatever I can.
What I have done to you and Acolyte Faye is unforgivable. I can only offer my most humble of apologies. Your Majesty.
Yes?
I ask that you please look after my wife. You have my word. Your benevolence, it is time that I return to the Twilight Realm. The Magatama of Parting, if you please.
Very well.
Huh? Oh, right.
Your benevolence, please allow me the honor. Yes, it would be more fitting for you to send him on his way.
Mrs. Enmi.
Darling, I'm so glad I was able to see you one last time. Thank you for everything.
I'm sorry to leave you like this, my love.
I'm glad he put the rope back on.
But now you can watch over me from the world beyond.
Yes, always and forever.
And with every breath I take, my darling, I'll be thinking of you. Farewell, my darling to rest.
Well, that was pretty cool.
The High Priest has returned to the Twilight Realm.
Maya!
I feel great. I guess that means he didn't leave any regrets behind. Oh, but what about the trial, Nick?
It's over. It was a sad reality born of love, and a great tragedy born of the Defense Culpability Act.
Well, I see no need to continue this trial. Does the prosecution have anything to say?
Mr. Phoenix Wright, I owe a debt to you, one that I will pay back in court someday.
Not even gonna say sorry? Come on, apologize. You said such awful things, man. Now, to deliver today's verdict and overturn that of yesterday's trial. With respect to all current and previous charges against them, I hereby declare the accused, Maya Fey, and her defense, Phoenix Wright, not guilty.
Huzzah! We did it! Wow. Right, so this game is 3 for 3 for God tier cases. Wow! Well, okay, I mean, the first one was kinda but for what it was, yeah, it was pretty good still. $4:20 p.m. blaze it.
So I was thinking, Nick, the legal system here is really stacked against the defense. It's totally unfair.
Yeah, it even forced the High Priest to make the ultimate sacrifice just to protect his wife.
It's just so sad.
Protect the status quo or join the revolution? If the real Lady Kira were here, I wonder which side she would take. Your benevolence.
Huh? What?
I was, just wondering. Are you alright?
Quiet, you. How could I possibly be alright?
Yeah, she's not doing well at all.
Who do you think you are? suddenly appearing before me, trampling my insights underfoot and plunging the Hall of Justice into utter chaos? You even desecrated my mother and father's teachings, you soulless infidel!
Oh, I hate you so much. Look, alright, so I get it. I understand what this character's going for. I know where this is going. Clearly she's gonna turn around, become apologetic, and move Khura'in to a brighter future. And just change for the better. But for now, she's just awful. I can't stand her. Oof, that was a bit more extreme than usual. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm totally willing and anticipating flipping my own opinions around and coming around to her when she comes around, but she has to come halfway first, alright?
What am I to do? I had always believed that communing with a victim's matama would lead me to the absolute truth. But each time you overturned my insights, it was revealed that they served to support false charges rather than the truth. I am left now with that heavy truth in my heart.
I'm sorry, Rifa.
Perhaps I am not worthy of hearing the voices of the matama.
That's where you're wrong, your benevolence?
What?
Maya.
How dare you! Your role is to bring forth the voices of the matama into our world. If you don't do it, who will? You know nothing, Maya Fey! It was spirit channeling, not a divination seance that brought the truth to light. How dare an outsider like you employ the Queen's secret art? But what can I do? My spiritual power does not even approach yours. Is it not a cruel joke? The royal priestess bested by a lowly outsider.
Don't be so hard on yourself.
Why not? It is worth at least a laugh or two. You shouldn't talk like that. Huh? Listen, your benevolence. You were just fulfilling your duty, weren't you? And you're the only one capable of performing the divination seance, right? The station of royal priestess is not something to abandon lightly. The station of royal priestess? The people of your kingdom believe in you, but if you really mean all that you just said, then what are they supposed to believe in? You know not of what you speak! Actually, I kinda do. After all, I'm only here training so I can become the master of my village back home. A village master, you say? I did not know. It seems I owe you an apology. For even today, I called you a neophyte practitioner. It's all right, your benevolence. Thank you for finally acknowledging me.
A future queen and a future village master. I guess it shouldn't be a surprise, considering they may have had a common ancestor. Maya's right, your benevolence.
Barbed head?
Your insights were a crucial piece of evidence in this last trial. It doesn't matter if they weren't always 100% accurate. You should be proud of what you did. You've played an important role in ensuring that justice was served. And besides, your insights aren't the problem here. It's your kingdom's legal system. Without lawyers, your insights have come to be accepted as the sole truth. And the Defense Culpability Act, which gave rise to that, is the root of it all.
But that is the dangerous thinking of a rebel. Your benevolence. As Crown Princess, you are destined to rule this kingdom one day. That means there will be many things that you alone must determine. Things like how to keep your people happy, and what is true and what is false. And, most importantly, what role you must play therein. I wonder if I am even up to the task. Knowing you, your benevolence, you're more than capable.
I've never heard Maya talk like this before. She's really come a long way. Huh? What was that?
It came from the hallway. Smoke! We better go check it out. Hurry!
Mrs. Inme?
Mr. Wright, Acolyte Faye, I'm so sorry for what transpired. You were almost sentenced to death because of me.
That's some loose lipstick, lady. Why am I suddenly very concerned for Rafa's safety?
I will make amends by picking up where my husband left off. I will see the revolution through so nothing like this can ever happen again. For that is the depth of my love for my dearly departed husband.
Oh, okay. Lady Inme, we gotta hurry. That voice, is that Mr. Arable?
I must tell the people. They must learn that the peace we enjoy is a false one. One built on the backs of innocents charged with false crimes under that odious DC Act.
It's not that stinky, is it?
We have it in our power to forge a society in which the law judges all of us fairly.
Hey there, PW! I wish we had more time to talk, but... Dirk, everything's ready. It's go time.
Dirk? Oh, hey. Hi. He's very serious. Wait, was that the rebel leader, Dirk?
After him! Don't let him get away!
The power to forge a society in which the law judges all of us fairly. It's the start of a legal revolution.
Hey, Nick. Hate to bother you while you're lost in thought, but I just got this great idea.
What is it?
The Steel Samurai versus the Rebel Dirk. I bet it'd make for another awesome TV show.
Enough of this. Where is Rafa?
And if we threw the Poon Punisher in there, everyone would go nuts over it.
I'll never get what she sees in those shows. But it's good to know that no matter what happens, Maya will always be Maya. Rafa? Hello? Hello? Huh. I guess the rebels just passed Rafa by, sure. Save, yeah. Nope, return to games menu. So I'm like 99% sure it's safe to watch this anime that's going on here, but just in case. For now, with that chapter concluded, let's return to the good old blue. I missed that look. I did. The tiger's fun, but the blue suit is just too iconic, and that pocket watch is sharp. So, yeah, that was... I nearly skated by on the skin of my teeth, didn't I? I had one little pip of life for so long, but yeah, I squeaked through. I'm quite proud of that, if I do say so myself. Right, so... I mean... Phoenix and Maya do seem quite concerned with the legal system of Khura'in, but from what I saw there's not really any big triggering event that would make them want to stay in Khura'in, so... There's gotta be something, right? Well, Who knows, maybe Rafa really did just get kidnapped and they didn't notice. I don't know. All I'm saying is that 3 rebels, including the rebel leader, were in the room with the princess and no mention was made of it, and that just feels really weird to me. So, yeah, I'm from where I'm standing, I'm guessing Case 4 will be back in Japanifornia. I'm guessing. I don't know how it could tie into the overall plot in the way that, the, Trial 2 with Mr. Reyes. I don't know how that could, that trial tied in a little to Khura'in and seeded a few plot threads, but boy, I just don't know what could happen in Japanifornia to warrant going back there. Then again, man, I just don't know. Maybe Case 4 and 5 will be in Khura'in. Maybe Apollo and Athena are on their way right now. I don't know. So yeah, I'm guessing that Dirk, Dats, and Belieb will all be key players in Case 5 at the very least. Oh boy. So yeah. Not only... Boy, that was about as extreme an outcome as you could get. Not only was the game board flipped by having this outsider, this outlander, perform the Queen's own secret art in front of public witnesses in the stands, but it's got everyone walking away from that finding doubt in their hearts for the justice system of the land. Inga is going to be angry. Very angry. Oh, I do not feel good for Phoenix and Maya's safety. No, sir. No, I do not. But yeah, overall, Khura'in, just a fascinating locale. I am so deeply invested with the fate of this country. I can't wait to see where it goes next. So yeah, I guess that's all I have to say. I'm Zephyr the Jester. This has been more Spirit of Justice on my birthday. Thank you for watching, and hopefully I'll catch you next time. So until then, please take care.